All right. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I decided to do a morning check in real quick. Now, I know it's been some time since y'all last heard from me. And honestly, the days just fly by. Like me not making a video for 2 days, 3 days, then it turned into 9 days. Like, what? Where does the time go? I don't know. But I wanted to do a quick check in with y'all and talk to y'all about some of the stories that have been going down my timeline. One of the stories that a lot of people are talking about is this story that happened where a mother shot a 20-year-old who was found in her daughter's bedroom. Now, it sparked a lot of debates about juvenile kids and characterizing certain things and who's right, who's wrong, etc. So I thought that I might touch on this. Now, a lot of people also have been hitting me up about Nolan Wells and wanting me to speak on that as well. I have been posting some stuff here and there um on my page, but I have not made like an official video about Nolan Wells. So I might do a dedicated video about that. However, I'm just mm, I don't know. Anyways, let's start here. So you said yes, my goddaughter, I just love you. You mean, huh? I mean thank you, but you mean like you and your goddaughter loves, I don't know. Good morning though. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How is y'all morning going? How is y'all weekend starting off? How are y'all doing? Are y'all taking care of y'all mental space as well? Because we are in a time, baby. We are in a particular time these days, and it is just crazy. So you got to do a mental health check-in on everybody. But let me pull up this story, and shout out to everybody who is in the building. um let's get into it. Hold on.
And in tonight's crime alert, a local mother is charged with shooting and killing a man who was found hiding under her child's bed early yesterday morning. WREG's Caitlin Barker is live in the neighborhood where the shooting took place with the latest on what happened. Caitlin?
Good afternoon, Stephanie. This shooting took place here at around 1:40 a.m. and it happened at this home right across from me on Travis Road. Now, this all happened after a mother found a man in her house. She says he was hiding under a child's bed. When police arrived, they found the man dead near the front porch. Now, the woman, 36-year-old Kendra Scott, now faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder and employment of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. The man who was shot has now been identified as Redarius Morton. According to police, Morton was invited by a child to the home and came in through the back door at 1 a.m. The arrest affidavit says when Kendra Scott came home, she was heard banging on the front door and yelling, "Who's at my house?" Once the child opened the door, Morton was found hiding under the child's bed. As Morton was leaving the house, both Scott and Morton went out to the front porch, and that's when the juvenile says she heard a gunshot. Morton was found shot in the back of the head. Now, I spoke with one neighbor who says he feels bad for everyone involved.
For the child, since her mama going to jail, the boy family since he was walking away, and I guess I feel bad for the mama. She should have thought more.
Now, I spoke to multiple neighbors who say that in this case, nobody wins. Now, we're actively working to confirm the age of the man that was involved and the juvenile, and we'll have more on that at 10 p.m. tonight. I'm Caitlin Barker reporting live for your news leader, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, so that is a small piece of what's going around. Now, according to social media, they're saying that the guy that was in the house was 20 years old, and they are alleging that the girl was 13. Let me pull up the arrest affidavit really quickly, and we'll go over that. So let me see. All right, so this is the arrest affidavit. I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well, but I'll just read through it just in case. So it says, personally appeared before me, Kendra Scott, and made oath that on or about the 16th day of July, 2026, in said county and within the jurisdiction of the Criminal Court of Shelby, Tennessee, Kendra R. Scott, female, black, and then they put her date of birth, did unlawfully commit the offenses of first-degree murder, employing a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. And then it says, further, the affiant makes oath that the essential facts constituting said offenses, the source of affiant's information, and the reason why the affiant's information is believable concerning said facts are as follows. On July 16, 2026, at 1:40, Memphis police officers responded to a shooting call at blah, blah, blah. When officers made the scene, they located a male tentatively identified as Redarius Morton in the front yard near the front porch, unresponsive, suffering from a gunshot wound to the back of his head. MFD Engine 36 made the scene. And it says he was pronounced like, I guess this Robluski, pronounced Redarius Morton deceased at 1:59 a.m. And then it says MPD officers spoke with Kendra Scott, who told the officers that she came home and saw a dude under my kid's bed, and I did what I had to do. Officers also spoke with the next door neighbor at that address, who advised that he heard banging and came outside and saw Kendra Scott with a gun going into her house. He went back inside and shortly after heard one gunshot. When he came outside, he saw a male shot near the front porch. And then it says that Travis and Kendra standing in the front yard saying, I shot him, still holding the gun. Kendra Scott was detained and was brought to the 170 North Main Homicide Office for further investigation, where she read her advice of rights and invoked her rights. A juvenile from that address who was a witness who was brought to the office as well for further investigation gave investigators a statement that Redarius Morton was invited by this juvenile, and he came in through the back door of the residence at 1 a.m. At around 1:20 or 1:30, that's when Kendra Scott comes home and was knocking loudly at the front door, yelling, "Who's at my house?" The juvenile stated that she was scared of Kendra Scott because she had a gun in her hand and was angry, yelling, and has told the juvenile in the past that Kendra Scott sees a boy in my house, I will put a hole in his ass. Once the juvenile let Kendra Scott in through the front door, Redarius Morton was found hiding under the bed in the juvenile's room. As Redarius Morton was leaving the residence with his belongings that did not include a weapon, Kendra Scott repeatedly was yelling, "Get out of my house, B," at Redarius Morton. And when Kendra Scott and Redarius Morton got onto the front porch, the juvenile heard one gunshot. Officers located one 9mm spent shell casing on the front porch at their address and a Smith & Wesson MP 9mm black handgun in the front yard near the address. These items were photographed and collected by CSI. And then it says this offense occurred in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. And this is the statement and the affidavit of the police and her arrest warrant where she was arrested. So I wanted to read that. Now, there are other people online stating that the daughter was again 13, and other people are saying that she was deaf. Let me show you guys one comment from somebody alleging to be a family member. Let me pull up this post right here that I also saw. So this person right here commented on Facebook, and they said that the girl was deaf. And so this is what this person says. It says, for one, he knew she was young. She told him her real age, which is 13. Then he lied and said that he was 18. He proceeded to contact her and linked with her. He groomed her knowing she got disabilities. She's deaf and don't got too much on sense. My auntie is very strict on her kids. She doesn't allow this mess. She has no phone. She only have an Alexa device at night when she's at work for emergencies. He groomed her from the beginning to the end. The proof is in the pudding. That's why he hid under the bed, because he knew he was wrong. If he knew the age and messed with a 13-year-old, what makes y'all think he wasn't finna try the 8 and 1-year-old? He wanted I didn't even read this all the way through. Anyways, he wanted some blank blank. Anywho, I'm not finna argue with nobody. So if it offends you, suck it. At this point, I stand on everything I said, and that's not even the full story. Free my auntie, hashtag Kendra Scott. So that is what someone is saying who is alleging to be a family member. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Now, again, the girl in question is alleged to be 13. The boy, or not the boy, the man who went to the house that was in that woman's house was 20. He was a overly grown man and too damn old to be dealing with a 13-year-old. Now, the question of whether or not the mom should have shot him in the back of the head while he was leaving, obviously that is against the law. However, if she would have shot his ass while he was under the goddamn bed, I would be saying free her. Now, the fact that he was gathering his stuff and leaving and he was on his way out per the law, that's against the law. However, I don't believe that any 20-year-old grown-ass man should be dealing with no 13-year-old girl. And if it was me and my child, I would have busted a cap in his ass under that goddamn bed. However, like I said, it's against the law to shoot a person while they're walking away outside of the house. Now, this does not go without saying that the daughter has blame in this. She's 13 years old. The family member is saying that she has disabilities. She knew damn well how to sneak a boy in, and she knew damn well that the mother was against it, and she did it anyways. So therefore, she should have some responsibility in this. Although, yes, it is true that a 13-year-old cannot legally, consent. That doesn't mean that she don't know what the hell is going on. So there's that. I do think that it is easy for a grown-ass man to manipulate, and it is easy for a grown-ass man to take advantage of a young girl, especially one if she does have said disabilities as well. So there's a lot of discourse going online. A lot of people are vilifying the girl, saying that, oh, she's fast, this and that. But matter of fact, let me go online and let's just read through some of the comments that I saw on social media. And you guys let me know what you think about it. Let me pull up some of the posts that I saw regarding this, and then y'all tell me what y'all think about it. So let's see. All right, let me share my screen. Hold on one second. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. What is it? Flora. Somebody said, oh, let me look at y'all comments first. No, the affidavit said he was shot on the front porch. Somebody said, I think he was shot in the house. That's false. We just read the affidavit. He was shot on the front porch. She said, bruh, it's a problem. These young 18 to 24 be doing this ish a lot. It's weird and disgusting coming back to high school to pick up freshmen when they are out of school with full-time jobs. The little girl was clearly groomed. She was also so disconnected from her family that she hid everything. Another person says he shouldn't have been there, but she shouldn't have hit him in the back of the head. She should have known that was going to go bad. Another person says he's a predator. Crystal says, I'm glad you came on. I overslept for work. Child, get your butt to work, honey. Hurry up and get there. Hurry up and get there. All right. So let me share my screen and show y'all some of the discourse that is going on social media. All right. So this post right here was posted by It's On Site. Let's read some of the comments. Let me pull this down. All right. So let's see. Somebody says, didn't have to shoot at him, but people got to be on their sons just like they daughters. Another person says, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but I think we have to look at the entire situation instead of focusing on just one part of it. First, a 20-year-old being involved with a 13-year-old is illegal, and that absolutely needs to be addressed. If he knowingly pursued a 13-year-old, he should be held accountable. If he was genuinely misled into believing she was 17, that also matters because intent is relevant. Second, he didn't force his way into the home. From what has been reported, he was invited inside. That doesn't make his presence appropriate, but it is different from someone breaking into a house. The biggest issue for me is what happened afterwards. He was leaving. He was outside the home, and he was shot in the back of the head. At that point, the immediate threat appears to have ended. Instead of calling 911 or letting law enforcement handle it, she took matters into her own hands. As a parent, I understand the fear, anger, and outrage of finding an adult with your 13-year-old child. I don't think anyone is minimizing that, but our justice system exists for a reason. If we decide people can execute someone after the danger has passed, that's a dangerous precedent. There may be facts we don't know yet, and the courts will ultimately decide what charges are appropriate. But based on what's been reported, shooting someone in the back of the head as they were leaving is not something I can justify. All right. And that is what yours truly on Facebook said. Another person says, I don't care if she invited him. He was 20 and she was 13. What the F is wrong with y'all? Another person says, does heat of passion apply here? Another person says, that was crazy to shoot him and he was already leaving. That's where she effed up at. Ultimately, it was her stupid ass daughter that got everybody in this situation. Yikes. And then someone replied to her and said, that child is a child. 13. Too many different mental, emotional, hormonal, and physical things going on all at once to place the blame solely on a 13-year-old child. That young man was 20. And although he did not deserve to die, let's not act like he didn't have responsibility to himself to do his due diligence to find out how old this child was before he entered her home at any point, but especially at night, etc. All right. Another person says, I feel the gun accidentally went off. And her saying she had to do what she had to do was in reference to kicking the boy out of the house. The media uses tons of clickbait and constantly spins narratives. She was trying to be a good mother and protective, but her daughter's fast ass is a problem. That is what Anthony Reese said. Michelle says, so she saved so many other future young girls. Not all heroes wear capes. He made a grown man choice to go to a 13-year-old's bedroom, and she made a choice to take his. It's that simple. Another person, Philip, says, as a CPL owner myself, and according to the law, and that's murder. And if she had did it inside the house, she could have had a fighting chance in the court systems. But in this situation, the man posed no threat to her life because he was outside of the house, and she shot him from behind the head. Another person wants to know if she has a Cash App so they can help her bill. Another person says, I don't think she'll walk on self-defense. Maybe if she had immediately fired when she saw him, but she might have a mental status claim and get lesser charges. All right. So that is some of the discourse going on around social media about this. And I want to know what you guys think. Let me put this back up and let me drop the link and y'all let me know what y'all think about it. What do you think as it pertains to this situation? And how do you think everything should go? Now, a lot of people have been pulling up the 13-year-old's TikTok at this phase. I'm not going to pull up her TikTok right now. But it may be relevant later. But I want to know what you guys think so far. Click the link and I want to hear a couple of people chime in and tell me what you think about this situation. A mother is at work. She's working overnight. She finds out that someone's at her house. She comes home and her 13-year-old daughter snuck a 20-year-old man in her house. She comes in. She finds him hiding under her daughter's bed. And then she tells him to get the F out of her house. And while he's leaving out of the house and walking on the front porch, she shoots him in the back of the head. You guys let me know what you think about it. Somebody in the comments says, who's going to parent the child? Just sad. Absolutely. Another person says he thought he could keep abusing the baby and the mom would clap for him and give him some dinner. Another person says, let her go. Let me just flash these on the screen. Actually, the 13-year-old can't invite a predator into her home. She's a minor and disabled, so we don't know what her mental status is. And then this is the one that I already read where they said he thought he could keep abusing her. Another person says, now who's going to parent the child? Just sad. And this person says, let her go. This person says she should have just dealt with the police and her daughter. And then over on Facebook, Paulette says she should have brought the police with her from work. All right. Anybody want to click the link and voice your opinions? Click the link. If not, then we'll go to see what else is going on social media. I'm going to give y'all some time if y'all want to click the link and come on and tell me what y'all think about this. I want to hear some of y'all opinions as it pertains to this situation before I move on. All right, y'all still sleep. Y'all don't want to come up. Let's move right along to the next story. Now, this is also what is trending recently. A lot of people have been talking about this as well. So if you guys remember, I did a story on Romika months ago. Basically, she was the woman on the right was dropping off her son to school. And while right after she dropped her son off to school, she had an altercation with her baby daddy's new baby mama. The new baby mama shot and killed her. And this was like 1 block away from the school. And she at first was not arrested. She said that she was licensed to carry. I'm licensed to carry. And she said that she was licensed to carry, and the police originally did not arrest her. Then after, I guess, an investigation, she was arrested and she was remanded to jail. Now, as of a couple days ago, she was granted a pre-trial release. All right. So at first she was held in jail, and her bond, I believe, was originally revoked, but now she has been granted a pre-trial release. So let's see what's going on here. So it says the woman charged with fatally shooting a mother outside a South Loop school last year has been granted pretrial release months after a judge initially denied her request. Credasia Holly Johnson appeared in court Thursday, where a Cook County judge ordered her released while awaiting trial under certain conditions. Johnson will be placed on 24/7 electronic monitoring. She must surrender her passport and firearms owner's identification, I guess her FOID card, and is prohibited from leaving Illinois. She is scheduled to return to court on August 11th. So the backstory: Johnson was charged last year with first-degree murder and 5 additional felony counts in September 2025 in the shooting death of 31-year-old Romika Blackman. Prosecutors said Johnson shot Blackman shortly after Blackman dropped her son off at school near Cermak Road and State Street in Chicago's South Loop. Authorities have said Johnson was licensed to carry a gun at the time of the shooting. Johnson has maintained she acted in self-defense, telling investigators she feared for her life. Her attorneys argue Blackman had threatened Johnson through phone calls, text, and family members before the shooting. They also told the court that Blackman allegedly threatened Johnson's grandmother, saying she intended to kill Johnson. All right. It says the defense further argued that Johnson was pregnant at the time of the shooting and had previously obtained an order of protection. Johnson's attorney had reportedly sought her release on home confinement or electronic monitoring while the case moves through the court system after an early request was denied. Defense attorneys also point to evidence they say supports Johnson's account, including 911 calls and surveillance video that they contend contradicts portions of the prosecution's versions of events. So this case remains pending. and Johnson's release does not affect the charges against her. She is expected back in court on August 11th for her next hearing. So I just wanted to also update you guys on this because this is something that we heavily covered on my channel as well. There was a lot of people divided. There were people who felt as though Holly should be charged and go to jail. And then there were people who felt like it was self-defense and they felt like she should not be in jail. So it is important to note that she's pregnant. So it sounds to me like a big portion of this, although they have surveillance, could be attributed to her being pregnant and them allowing her to go and, like, not be in jail while pregnant or whatever. But we shall see what happens moving forward in the case. Like they said, the next hearing is in August. Somebody said, how did the attorney lie about a pregnancy if she had she's not pregnant? I thought she was pregnant. Y'all saying she not pregnant. The news just says she was pregnant. What's going on? I don't know. I thought she was pregnant. I don't know. Y'all confusing me now. I thought the girl was pregnant. Y'all saying she ain't pregnant. I don't know. Child, we'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Why do I keep getting... What is beeping? All right, so let's go to the next story. Let me see where. Okay. All right, so this was a disgusting story. These people right here, they had 16 children living in filth and squalor. Okay, so these individuals who look like they should be on a movie episode of The Hills Have Eyes. Okay, they were arrested for being filthy animals and leaving these kids in utter filth. So this right here is some of the conditions of the home where 16 kids were living, right? And this is just crazy. Crazy. Filthy, nasty mess. Ugh. You see the bugs just skedaddling. All right, so it says on June 30th, 2026, law enforcement officers in Ohio accidentally uncovered a severe case of child neglect while executing a search warrant for an unrelated investigation inside a rural home in Hamden, a village in Vinton County. Authorities discovered 16 children living in squalid and highly dangerous environments. The children, whose ages range from 18 months to 18 years old, were found confined to a single 12 by 12 foot room. State officials later described the scene as a house of horrors, noting that the home was filled with human waste and insects, and stating that livestock are typically kept in better conditions. The physical and developmental conditions of the children was critical. Many were described by officials as almost feral, with several unable to speak or write. The situation was so dire that 7 of the children required immediate hospitalization, including 2 who were airlifted to trauma centers with 1 in critical condition. Medical professionals and authorities noted that a delay of even 24 hours in finding that the children could have resulted in multiple fatalities. Following the discovery, law enforcement arrested 4 adults living in the home. The parents, Gary, Elizabeth, along with the grandparents, Gary Sr. and Christina, were each charged with 16 counts of second-degree felony child endangerment. All 4 individuals have entered pleas of not guilty to the charges. The 16 children are now safe and have been placed into the temporary custody of Child Welfare Services, where they are undergoing intensive medical and therapeutic rehabilitation, because Benton County is the smallest and one of the poorest counties in Ohio. The state government approved $1 million in emergency funding to help cover the immense cost of the children's long-term care and recovery. So this is the face of these deplorable individuals that had these kids living in squalor. Now, I don't know if drugs were involved, but they look like crackhead meth heads to me. And I'm happy that the children were saved from these thugs and put in better care. And hopefully better care, because as you know, sometimes the system has children sometimes in worse care. So I hope that the children were placed in better care. Because if you guys remember, there was a story out in California, not too far from where I live, where there were kids who were held in captive. The parents had went to jail. The kids were placed in foster care, and then the foster care abused the kids too. So it's just hopefully that they're placed in better care. Let's see what else is going on. Child, it's been a whole lot of going on with this lettuce. They say the lettuce is giving people all kind of explosions in the bathroom. Hopefully y'all were not affected by the explosive diarrhea. All right. Because Taco Bell is at the center of this ongoing investigation after shredded iceberg lettuce supplied by Taylor Farms was identified as a potential source of Cyclospora outbreak that has sickened thousands across the U.S. According to reports, more than 4,300 cases have been reported in Michigan alone, with at least 100 hospitalizations. The CDC has also linked cases in Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky, while illnesses have now been identified in at least 34 states. Taco Bell has temporarily removed select ingredients at some locations as officials investigated. Now, Taco Bell released a statement and they stated that they are now back in business. They say they removed the lettuce that was causing the explosive diarrhea, and now they say that they are back in business. Now, also, a person has already sued Taco Bell as well, and they claim that they got seriously ill after eating several Taco Supremes. All right. So it says multiple lawsuits have been filed against Taco Bell and its lettuce supplier, Taylor Farms, after a massive parasitic outbreak left thousands of customers with severe illnesses. They got explosive boo-boo. Okay. The legal actions follow an urgent investigation by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention into contaminated produce. A North Olmsted resident filed a lawsuit after eating at a local franchise in mid-June. He experienced explosive boo-boo and abdominal pain, eventually testing positive for Cyclospora. After losing 2 weeks of work, his attorney, Bill Marler of Marler Clark, expects dozens of additional filings. A 27-year-old U.S. Army veteran filed a lawsuit through Ron Simon and Associates after eating at a Youngstown location. He was hospitalized for 2 days, underwent extensive diagnostic testing, including a colonoscopy and a CT scan, and was discharged with strong antibiotics. The plaintiffs are suing the franchise operators, Taco Bell's corporate entities, and supplier Taylor Farms. They're seeking compensation for medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Somebody said it's pronounced Cyclospora, whatever the hell, you know what the hell it is. Whatever the hell, however the way, whatever the fuck. These people got explosive diarrhea and they want their money now. All right? It's my money and I need it right now. Boo-boo is all over the bathroom. All right? They can't keep themselves out of the bathroom. One lady said that she had to camp out and sleep in the bathroom. Okay? She said shit was everywhere. So, however you pronounce it, Cyclospora, whatever the fuck, they need their goddamn money. All right? Boo-boo is everywhere. All right? So, give them their bread and get on with it. Okay? Now, Taco Bell has been disgusting. I don't eat there. But child, this is what Taco Bell had to say. They said they back in business. Taco Bell says, "We want you to hear from us. We take your health and safety seriously and have removed all affected Taylor Farms lettuce from Taco Bell stores. So go ahead and enjoy your boo-boo taco. Enjoy your Taco Bell today. You always got us. We always got you. See you in the drive-thru." And I don't understand, like, how y'all like Taco Bell. Taco Bell is so gross to me as an adult. The food is always sending you to the bathroom. Now, this time it's making people's boo-boo explode. But Taco Bell has always, Taco Bell and Burger King, to me, have always had something in the buttermilk that sends you right to the damn toilet all the time. I can't do Taco Bell and I can't do Burger King. That's just my own opinion. It don't sit well with my system. But have at it. They said it's good to go. All right. They said they back in business and that you're good to go. Let's see what else is going on around social media. Let's see. Hold on, let's see what else we're gonna talk about really quickly. Let's see. Let's talk about this. Okay, child. Because, baby, let's talk about it. Hold on. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Let's hear from Brittany.
Time. I left every time. I don't waste time. I don't care how public, like even the last guy I was with, I don't care how public we are. I don't care what we talked about, what we did. If you met my son, bitch, bye. Fuck you. Let your mother love you. Whether they're closeted, whether they hate their life, whether they're insecure, they can't really handle being with you, whatever their funky fucking excuses for
Ooh, shots fired to Kevin Gates. Shots fired.
being lousy, it's just like, I don't gotta take that. And I actually saw something that guy from Fresh and Fit, Myron. First of all, Myron, okay. I saw he had a quote retweeted something, was like, I told her this years ago. She's gonna be in her 30s, single. Nobody takes her seriously. Baby, it's not that nobody takes me seriously. I don't take these men seriously. What is it like? What is there for me to do? And I feel like, to Myron, there's a broader conversation to have than like weaponizing singleness. Huh? Aren't you single? What happened to you and your bitch? So it's like, I feel like we're
heavy on what happened to you and your bitch. Right. Like, girl, it's always these single dusty ass men thinking that they are the fucking prize and trying to shame women for being single if they can't keep a bitch them goddamn selves. And a lot of people will say, well, men are the ones who are in charge of dating and, you know, relationships. Well, why the fuck is your bitch ass single then?
we're missing the plot and the point when we try to make it personal and like shame people as to like, why don't you have somebody? Because a lot of these people in relationships are faking the fuck. They're faking the funk. So it's like, I really feel like I saw this post where it was like, men want women that don't exist anymore. Women want men that don't exist yet. So I feel like that's where a lot of people's frustration is. And every time, I left every time. I don't waste time.
All right. So this is what I put in the comments, and I stand on that. Bitch, me. I said, whether you like her or not, she spoke facts. The men be the main ones shaming women for being single, but be single they darn selves. Also, the part where she shot fire at Kevin Gates, let me hear that part again.
I don't care how public, like even the last guy I was with, I don't care how public we are. I don't care what we talked about, what we did. If you met my son, bitch, bye. Fuck you. Let your mother love you. Whether they're closeted, whether they hate their life, whether they're insecure, they can't really handle being with you, whatever their funky fucking excuses for being lousy, it's just like, I don't gotta take that.
Period, poo. No matter if you a hoe or not, girl, you don't gotta take that. And I didn't even talk to y'all really about BET Weekend because I don't know, I haven't really gone into it. But during BET Weekend, I was invited to T.I.'s after party. He had an after party. And Kevin Gates came with that little young girl that he be toting around. And it was a lot of who's at the party or whatever. Now, I am a person who people always comment me about my skin and they're like, oh, you know, you got nice skin, blah, 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 blah. Right? And I understand the difference from somebody having like great skin and somebody looking like they had on a full face of makeup. Okay. Now, I don't know if Kevin Gates had a full face of makeup or not, but BET Weekend, actually, it was that Sunday after the awards. When Kevin Gates walked in, I'm like, he looked like his face is literally beat. Like and again, there's a difference from somebody having like flawless skin and somebody looking like they had on makeup. That nigga looked like he had on makeup. I think, and that's just my opinion, I don't know for a fact or not, but I think that Kevin is closeted. Like he comes off that way. Like everything about him gives, I'm just using these women as a front. Like, I don't know. He just really gives, like, at nighttime, he into some things. He into the Booncha Cat, to me. Okay? And a lot of people will try to make that Britney's fault, which a part of that goes to her discernment. But child, we done all been caught with the motherfucking bug, okay? Like with having bad discernment. And by bug, I mean having bad discernment with these niggas sometimes. You know, a part of it is her fault for dealing with somebody who clearly looked like he really want the Booncha cat. But people will blame her like, oh, you're the problem, as if he ain't a whole ass, what word do I want to use? Again, I don't know if he's DL, but they'll try to make her be the problem. Like, we don't got evidence that he probably prefers something else. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, oh, you can't keep a man. But it's like, do this man really want to be kept though? Like, you know, I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying, but even if you feel like she a 304 or whatever, I don't think Kevin Gates is a good representation of her not being able to keep a man, because clearly, you know, I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody said both are one and the same. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, they are one and the same. And I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like her playing with religion for him is also ridiculous as well. Like, girl, I'm not about to cosplay being Muslim because, like, what? But then it's like, girl, when you really like a man, you get involved in his world. So a part of it is like, girl, you played with religion for a man. But then a part of me also feels like when you really like a man, you engulf into his world. So I don't know. Like, did she play with God, or did she just become submissive for her man at that time and submitted into his world? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, B, you play with God for a man. But then it's like, ain't you supposed to be submissive for your man? I don't know. I don't really submit to these niggas, so I can't relate. I can't relate because I don't submit to these Negroes. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll drop the link in the chat one more time. Y'all let me know if y'all want to come up and speak on any of the topics that we talked about. Black Steve says nobody is expected to last after that Drika situation. Flora says that's young and dumb behavior. Drika was the only one that could deal with him, and even she couldn't at the end of the day. Paulette says she really likes herself. Exactly. She totally played with God, as did he, and they both are still doing it now. All right. Anybody want to come up and voice their opinion? Click the link. If not, we will check out on that note. Let me know what topics y'all want me to cover. I'll probably try to start doing more morning check-ins with y'all, because, baby, we done wasted 9 days of not posting no videos. Girl, what is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing with your life? I gotta figure out my life, because, girl, what is that about? Who told me to not post for 9 days? Like, bitch, you could have been up here doing these morning check-ins just like this all them 9 days. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Not posting for 9 days? Like, child, I really had to have that talk with myself. Like, girl, what? 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 Somebody said, Neek, you know the 80K twins one been missing since Tuesday. He ain't missing, child. They already confirmed he is not missing and he's safe. I didn't really look too much into that situation because they do a lot of pranks and they do a lot of clickbait. So to me, in that situation, it's kind of hard to take certain situations serious because when he is found safe, like they have reported, it kind of makes you think like, well, was this clickbait all along? Was this a prank all along? Was he genuinely really missing? You know what I mean? Let me see if there's a picture of him of this 80K twins on Spiritual Word. But it makes you think like, oh, was he really missing? Was this a genuine concern, or was this them trying to get attention because they didn't go to Streamer University? I don't know. I don't think it's on Spiritual Word, but I'll have to find let me try to find oops. Let me try to find who y'all talking about so I can show to the audience. I'm trying to find a picture real quick. Sing to me. All right, here we go. All right, so this is who they were talking about. It says viral twin influencer Kamar Williams and one half of the content creator duo 80K Twins has been reported missing as his brother Kyle Williams pled for help. He reveals Kamar went silent after leaving their family home in Atlanta, Georgia 2 days ago. The twins' joint page on Instagram pleaded for the public for any information and help in finding the missing brother. It says that in the post they shared that a photo with his twin circled. Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, the boy is safe. There was reports that he came back safe. Let me try to find. It was other places that reported it that he was back safe and he just wanted some me time or whatever. But yeah, so that's that on that. Mermaid, what's your thoughts?
Kevin is gay. I don't care what nobody says. That man's gay. He's gay. Be for real. His mannerisms, how he moves. I just want people to go just watch any interview. And he is the type of man to label being DL quote unquote freak behavior. He's that type for sure. For sure. You can look in his eyes and say that man is gay.
And like they said, because every time he talk about he D'ing somebody down and he got BD like big D and all of that, it's just like you're
advertising for the men. You're advertising for the men.
And he's a liar. He had a video that went viral on Twitter of him doing the do, and he got a little skinny little wanker.
I'm fine.
It's not it's not giving putting her through the mattress like he be saying. Like ever since I seen
he's a Diddy. Okay. When I say Diddy, it's the same situation of being a cuckold. I don't mean in all the extra ways. I don't know about all that. I'm talking about when I say he's like the diddler, I mean that, it ain't much there. So what else can you do?
I'm saying though.
There's been accusations that, several interviews have said that Diddy ain't packing. That's why he watches. I'm just saying that it might not be too far to say that, maybe Kev do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. And then that's when they start trying shit and all that, because you can't please nobody with that. With a pencil. With an eraser. You can't please nobody with no eraser. So you can't. I believe that man is gay. I don't care what nobody said. And like they said, Drika was the only one who was accepting of him doing that behavior, but you can't get mad when she wanted to go get D down properly by somebody else. So they probably had an open relationship.
That's why he had to go and get that girl that is like a little kid. She barely talks. She damn mute. She don't hardly say nothing and just smile and look. That's
supposed to be his Young Miami. That's his Young Miami.
Somebody said micro pings need love too. I mean, they do. I'm not saying that they don't, but don't classify it. My thing is, don't misrepresent what you got going on down there. Like, don't be telling people that you got the biggest D.
Put it through the mattress.
That's lying. Like, you cannot lie on it. Like, you can get love for it. But
Lil Wayne ain't never did that, and that's all I'm saying. And the ladies didn't say he packing. If you packing, you don't have to say it. Lil Wayne ain't never went around talking about how he put her through the mattress and emphasis on every interview. You gotta talk about your dick size. It's crazy. Lil Wayne ain't never did that.
Sure.
And they said he be slanging like an elephant, is what they said. So once again, the proof is in the pudding. I believe this man is DL. And I feel like she's just arm candy. So, if I be alone for too long, I mean, look at Luther Vandross. Now, I love Luther. Don't nobody come for me because I love Luther.
Luther over there like, now how I'm in it?
How Luther is in it is because, remember, they always have arm candy if they are DL, because he never had nobody by his side. So people pushing the rumors, it was like, well, he fell in love with somebody in the 80s who was male, and it just was what it was, right? He never had nobody on his arm, though. You see what I'm saying? They saw from that example, if I don't have a woman on my arm as arm candy, even if I am DL, those rumors are going to persist. I don't understand. We're in a day and age of 2026. If you're gay, you're gay, babes. If you're gay. Like, it is what it is. Plenty of rock stars are coming out as gay. And that ain't alleged. They've come out and said that the man, you heard about the rock star who getting divorced from his wife for 10 years because he came out gay and made a song about him being free as a bird. And yeah. So I don't understand why some guy in this rock band or whatever. I don't know the name of the band. I don't listen to rock anymore. There's that. But I read an article and he came out as gay and divorced his wife. You can look it up. He came out as gay and divorced his wife for 10 years. And it's like, but you wasted 10 years of that woman's life knowing that you like dick.
Yeah, I have no idea about that story. But
the last thing I want to touch on before I go to work, because I need to go to work, okay, is with Nolan Wells and the two ladies who came out about the autopsy. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so the two ladies who came out about the autopsy, what's interesting and what a lot of people are saying is that more than likely that autopsy report has came back, but they just haven't given it to the family. So I'm not saying it was rude for them to do that, because they kind of pre-warned and prefaced the family like, look, this is what you may see. Okay. What I'm trying to figure out is why there has been no arrest made. If these were the last people he was with, because if the roles was reversed, they're arresting us immediately until they figure out what happened. All of us getting arrested because we were the last people he was with, correct? So what's the holdup?
The holdup is if you got people in powerful positions and you get lawyers involved, the process slows down. But also, too, they have to determine, and you have a mute your mic when I talk because there's a feedback. There's a delay when you have to get the manner of death. Like, they have to rule on what the exact manner of death is before they can put an arrest in, because it's not like cut and dry. So like for the first story that I talked about, right, it's cut and dry because the mom shot the boy. He was on her front porch, and they know for a fact that She shot him with a 9mm in the back of the head. With Nolan, being that he was in the water, he potentially they're alleging that he drowned. They have to rule out if there was true in fact, even though the mayor and the sheriff irresponsibly are saying no foul play before the autopsy came out, they have to first, find the findings to be homicide or foul play before an arrest can be made, because it's not as cut and dry is what I'm saying.
That makes sense. But we all know they're going to try to go the accident route. They're going to claim this was an accident. Even though them women who said they knew the person who did the autopsy, that he was burned and, body handling versus, cause of death is two different things, of course. But they're going to try to go the accident route for sure.
Yeah, and I just think that, sometimes in social media, everybody wants to speak and wants to be a part of a story. I feel like those two women is irresponsible in speaking out. Like, even if, let's say, my friend gave me that information, it's only so many people handling the body. So I would never put my friend in jeopardy of losing their job just so that I could run to the internet to tell social media something, because whatever the findings are, the family, I'm sure, will reveal it at the appropriate time, but was probably just waiting for, all of the ducks to be in a row. Now, for me personally, I know that, when you are in water for a particular amount of time, that the body is going to look fucked up, because of the salt water and all of the things. But I just feel like if they did get that information, I don't think that they should have shared it to social media in the way that they did. That's my personal opinion. I feel like the mom and the father have seen the son, so they know what their son looks like. And that's why they want answers, and that's why they are trying to get an independent autopsy. I just feel like they were out of line to come to the internet with that and jeopardize their friend's job. But if the friend don't give a fuck about his job, then hey, I don't give a damn.
That's where I was at. Because, as a friend, that's supposed to be confidential information anyway, first of
Yeah.
all. And I also don't think that it was the friend that was mishandling the body. I think the friend witnessed the body come in, because if you're the person who actually has to do the autopsy, I think that the people who transported the body must have brought it in face down. Must have brought him in face down. And he was the one who was like, "What? Why is he flipped over like this? Like, what's really going on?"
Yeah.
So they were irresponsible. So I think the friend, what to say if he was male, he was trying to call out, because they never said whether he was male or female, but that he was trying to call out the fact that how they handled the body, period, was just reckless. For all we know, they dropped the body. We don't know. But when that autopsy come back, it may be more disturbing than people think. Them alleging that he was tortured and all of that, we don't know. We still waiting for the autopsy. So
yeah, I think that in these situations we have to be patient. I think that obviously we in a social media era where we want the information right away. We want everything right, right away. But it's like, let the family process the autopsy, let them have the funeral, and then I'm sure right after the funeral they'll give the results. I feel like they probably, they're already dealing with the funeral is right at the heels of coming up. Then they probably, just want to wait until that's over to then get into more details or whatever. But the fact that there was a meeting with the DA where they said that the case will be handed over to the grand jury, I think that there are things that are moving forward, and thank God they hired Ben Crump and other independent investigators, because had they not, would the case be moving forward? Probably not. But I think that because they do have, I would feel differently about those two women coming out if the family were not taking the proper precautions to do what they had to do. You know what I mean? Like, let's say we didn't know nothing, like the family had no answers at all, there wasn't anything being done, and then they witnessed that, then yeah, come forward and say. But when you know that the family is trying to handle certain things a particular way, I feel like, I don't know. I don't respect the way that those two girls did that. But that's just my opinion.
I agree. It was selfish. And I'm not saying that they was trying to get the spotlight because I don't know. But they claiming, oh, they wouldn't be able to sleep with that. Hey, y'all could have went to sleep with that information. Be for real. Like, no, we wouldn't be able, like, we wouldn't get any sleep if we just didn't know. Y'all just trying to be in the spotlight. Be for real. And that's what it was given. Even if it is valid information, they could have went to necessary authorities because now that the FBI is involved, y'all could have went to necessary authorities and reported that. Y'all didn't have to tell everybody that information. Like you said, it's on the heels of the funeral. It's a lot going on. They're probably waiting until afterwards if they do have the results to find out all of that, because that's a lot. She still got it. The mom still has to be in, and the dad have to be in the public eye. It's a lot, especially emotionally. And I don't think she would be able to hold herself together if she's seen that autopsy prior, to be honest. And I mean, on social media, she's shown that she's hyper emotional and it's mood swings. So there's that. That's all I got. I'm out. Thank you for letting me come up, Neat. I'm out.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who wanted to come up before we end the live? I have not did a dedicated video on Nolan yet. I definitely will try and make a video. But if you guys know anything about me, I don't like to, just because everybody's talking about a story, that isn't, like, I gravitate to stories that majority of the time are not the ones that everybody is flocking to. But being that this is an important story to go over just because of the dynamics, I definitely will make a video for that. But if you guys remember, before the verdict of Carmelo Anthony, there was hardly anybody covering it. Like, while the trial was going on, the Carmelo Anthony trial was going on, it was only a select few of us covering that story. So I like to go for stories like that where it's not too oversaturated, but I will definitely cover Nolan. But a lot of people were wondering, like, oh, Neek, why aren't you, all over this one? And that's why. Like, if you guys know anything about how I run my social media, I don't like the stories that everybody is talking about. That's just how I've always been. But this story, like I said, is an important one that I definitely will cover. I did post stuff on my Instagram about it just because, it deserves the attention that it needs to go out and find out and help the family get answers, But since the verdict of Carmelo, everybody's talking about it, you know what I mean? But that wasn't the case before when I initially went down to that. And the same with David. Like, a lot of people are covering the David story, which I'm also covering it as well. But I just, like, when stuff gets too oversaturated, I don't really like it. And then I don't like a lot of just like a bunch of different like rumors and unsubstantiated claims and stuff like that. Like, I like to deal in facts. So with the Nolan Wells case, I was trying to be patient and get a little bit more like factual things, because at first they're saying that, it's him arguing and saying that he wants his phone. And then his friend is saying that it's not him, that it's not Nolan, that it's him saying that. Then they're saying that Nolan was at a pool party. Then they're saying that the pool party happened a week ago. Like, so it's these different little things that, people are saying this, and then it turns out to be that, and then da-da-da-da-da-da. So I kind of also wanted to just kind of like try to be patient to get some actual facts rolling. Now, in the Nolan Wells case, they have offered up the GPS data. The mother, who is a judge of one of the a mother of one of the boys that was with Nolan, who also happens to be a judge, she made a statement, and people are comparing her statement to the GPS data and calling out those things. So I probably will still do, like I said, I'm gonna still do a video, but I didn't immediately rush to it because everybody was rushing to it. Somebody said, yeah, and they said there were 2 arguments. Somebody said it wasn't him. A man came out on Rolling Stone saying it was him and his girlfriend. That's what I just said. Someone says, Neek, cover my story in Cleveland, Ohio. What story? Sheila, click the link. What's your story? And also, too, like, when you dealing with all these racist MAGA motherfuckers, you gotta, like, give yourself a reset, because the racism in these bigots is a lot to deal with at times. So it's like sometimes you gotta have a reset, okay? But Sheila, I dropped the link down in the chat. What's your story? Let us know. I don't know what your story is, but click the link and tell us, what is it? What's your story in Ohio? What it do, Heavenly Cutter? Flora says, I don't trust all the friends coming out trying to say that Nolan, that wasn't Nolan. It gives cover up. Yeah. I don't trust that only the black friends is talking and the token black coach is talking. Like, you as the assistant coach, why is the main coach not talking? It's all given weird. But I've been posting about it on my Instagram. Let me show you guys my Instagram for those of you guys who are not following me over there on Instagram. Definitely follow my page. The hell. Let me show y'all my Instagram. One second. All right, so this is my Instagram, and this is what I posted over there. So this post I posted 4 days ago. I said, so far only Nolan's black friends have spoken out, but they have assured this was nothing to do with race. Thoughts. And then I said, the speculation surrounding the death of Nolan Wells has been intense, leaving many searching for answers in the wake of the tragedy on Horn Island. There was a viral video that was alleged to be Nolan yelling for his phone. 2 of his black friends close, who were there that day on different boats, are now speaking out to set the record straight. Among the most discussed pieces of evidence is a viral video alleging that he was yelling for the phone. Trayston says that he was the one yelling in a different situation that didn't involve Nolan. And then it says, that's me yelling. There was no talk about a phone in that video. I was telling my friends to let me off the boat so I can continue a fight I was having with a stranger. Nolan was not even on the island at that time. We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate. We all cared about and loved Nolan. I just know I lost my best friend. Nobody would ever hurt Nolan in our friend group. We would die for him. We would do everything in our power for that guy. Then his friend Javion Williams also made a statement. Another friend present on the trip addressed the rumors of foul play and the racial narrative that has emerged. This is what Javion says. Obviously, they're going to paint it as a race thing because none of this adds up. People are just making up their own stories and their own narratives because they don't know what happened. Neither do you, Javion. But let's continue reading. It's hard to deal with when you're being painted as a villain and you're just trying to grieve your friend. We aren't hiding anything. We've told the truth to investigators, and we're just waiting for people to see that we didn't do this. Okay, so I put, as we continue to follow the investigation, it's crucial to look at all perspectives. What are your thoughts on their statements? Let's discuss below. So this is what I opened up. I feel like their statements are a bunch of bullshit. That's my opinion. But this post was to get everyone else's opinion. And there was several comments that people made under it. So let's see. Somebody says, everyone is in the sunken place. I'm so sad about this entire situation. Another person says, yeah, okay. They must be friends with the white boys as well. Another person says, and they don't think we see what they doing in our faces. Another one says, Nolan's black friends are in denial, like too many black parents living in integrated communities. White doesn't mean safer. His dad said Nolan didn't see color. Did his white friends feel the same way? Another person says, my heart breaks for these poor babies. They have no idea of the magnitude of what's happening. They genuinely believe these people are kind and honest, but that isn't the reality. Another person says they are not his friends. Another person says, sad to say, many people confuse prejudice with racism and ignore the difference between individual bias and systematic power. Racism is not just a personal dislike of another group. It also operates through institutions, law, policies, and social structures. Because of this misunderstanding, whatever. Another person says, tried, I guess, Mike. Somebody says, sounds like they were paid. Another person says, it absolutely has something to do with race. Another person says, I 100% believe that they have either been threatened or paid. Another person says, I'm pretty sure to some extent it doesn't. And I could see why they could say that, especially if they knew them too. But it's that unconscious disrespect that can get passed up when you think you know them. Another person says, no one has seen him anywhere near Nolan. Not on the boat, not in photos, nowhere. He's definitely not one of Nolan's best friends. All of these random kids coming out only seem to defend these boys and have not been even pictured or seen with these boys or with Nolan during the event in question at all. Why not interview the ones who were in close proximity to Nolan? Well, the ones that were in close proximity to Nolan have lawyered up and they have got in out of the public by deactivating their socials as well. But this is one of the posts that I posted on my social media about the case. Another post that I posted was about the mother in the case. And this is a post that I posted 6 days ago. So if y'all are not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? If you can't go to Bella Noches, then where can you go? So just because I haven't made a video doesn't mean that I haven't spoken about it, but because we have. So I posted this post right here where it says Judge Ashley Cole, mother of one of the boys last seen with Nolan before he died, says she fears for her children's safety. All right. So she took to social media to let people know that she's afraid for her child's life. Okay. And her children's life as well. Yo said no sound. I'm just a talking away. Y'all can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Did the sound go out? I'm over here talking and talking and talking. What in the world? Okay, you said there is sound. So this is what she said. She said she feared for her children's life. And actually, I have her post. Hold on. Where is her post? I took a screenshot of her post. All right, this is what she took to social media, and this is what I made my Instagram post off of. So this is what the mother, who is also a judge, had to say. And let me read it to you guys. She says, "Our family, along with the community, grieves the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son, Warren, loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it is appropriate for our family to dispel some rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family and their loss. Yes, I deactivated my Facebook given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now. I fear for the safety of my child and my children. My husband and I have 6 children, and we covet their privacy. We do not believe it is appropriate for our minor children's photographs to be circulated throughout the internet, presenting potential threats to their safety. I graduated high school with Christine Wells Wansley. We are from the same community. I have the utmost respect for her and all of the Wells family. We mourn the loss of Nolan with them. Our prayers have and will continue to be with them. My husband and I were not on Horn Island at the point on 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers. Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30. When the boat was taken on the water and they had an issue with the bilge pump, whatever the pump, Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There were no nefarious motivations in my deleting my social media. Social media has a lot of positives, but a lot of negatives. We live in a world of clickbaiting, sad but true. My family is hopeful that this information will help to redirect the attention to the Wells family, their grief, and their need for our community support. So that is what Warren's mom, who is a judge, had to say. She fears for the safety of her children, and she says that her child last saw Nolan around 3. So y'all let me know what y'all think. We will do a dedicated video on Nolan. But I just wanted to update y'all with those things. Somebody said Warren's stepmom gave 3 p.m. and his real mom gave 5. Where the real mama at? I didn't see her speak. Send me that information. Send me what the real mama said. But yeah, so that's that on that. Thank y'all for tuning in to my morning check-in. If there is any receipts that you want me to go over in the Nolan Wells video, send them to me on Instagram or on Facebook. I know sometimes the settings, I don't know how to change the settings. I keep trying to change my Instagram settings and it still doesn't let people send certain stuff over there. I don't know why. Like, so if you have Facebook, go to my Facebook, Neek at Night, on Facebook, and send them there. Or you can email me, neekatnight1@gmail.com. Heavenly Cutter says I added you on Instagram. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna try to do more morning check-ins because baby, there's literally no excuse why I waited 9 days. Even down to like, child, it's just no excuse. So I'm not gonna give y'all no excuse because there ain't no excuse. Okay, period. But I definitely did need a reset. I definitely needed a reset, but that still ain't no excuse, child. So I'll talk to y'all in the next video. If there is any topics that you want me to cover, let me know. The woman said cover her story. She didn't even come up to say what the story was. Heavenly says they were hiding his facial injuries by transporting him upside down. Also, how many of y'all are going to Nolan's funeral? They posted his services is gonna be on Monday. Are you guys going? Are you guys gonna be in attendance? Y'all let me know. I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Thank you. Bye.